So I'm relatively new here. The last couple of weeks, and you mentioned the agents, investors, alumni of Probate Mastery doing the numbers they're doing. 5, 10, 20 closings a month, and the revenue that you spoke of. Somebody new comes in and goes through the course, digests it, executes on all the fundamentals. What's a realistic timeline to see results of, maybe not in that nature, maybe, it could be more, but a
Mhm.
realistic results, like, maybe five closings a month, 10, whatever it may be, if you're following the process, executing on all the fundamentals. What's the real timeline look like? Is it
Yeah,
6 months, 8 months, 12, 24?
I think that your pipeline can predictably produce what you assume is like maximum maximum export coming out of your pipeline at about the 12-month mark. So 12 months, not everything that's in your pipeline will have come out of it, but you can expect that pretty much everything that you've been nurturing from start to finish is at about that 12-month mark.
And that's when the
But
flywheel would start and reciprocate over and over from that point on
it's
with
going to
consistent.
reciprocate over and over a lot faster than that. That's like when it's going to reach its max based on your current skill.
Okay.
Okay, as you increase your skill, that max is only going to increase. But about 12 months is when the majority of what's going to come out of that pipeline is come out of it, and then there's going to be some trickle that comes out of a good pipeline after you've worked that particular pipeline for 12 months. Um, Generally speaking, 4 months is when you start to get a really steady flow of appointments, listings, or contracts signed.
Okay.
Inside of 4 months is generally going to be pretty uncommon. Um, I'll talk to you guys about an experiment that I'm running right now. I've been adjusting the prospecting approach that I teach to be very farm centered, uh, where we're spending time kind of doing more of a long-term nurture relationship, trying to be remembered and stay with people here for a little while. So, in doing that, our calls are focused very heavily on getting permission to send resources and services for later on the initial call. And on an average week right now, I think we're hitting somewhere in the range of 11 or 12 leads that we identify as they're probably going to sell, and they have agreed to receive our information. Okay. Now, I want at least 20% of that to come out of the back end. So if I can identify 10 leads a week that I believe are going to sell, and that they're okay with me sending my resources through the mail. It can be email too, but I really want to put something tangible in their hands. Then I'll put them into a long-term marketing system. And there's going to be follow-up calls and things in there as well. So my goal is just in the beginning, just identifying who's going to sell a house, not who wants an appointment right now, not even who says they're going to sell a house, not even who says they're going to sell. So some of what I'm telling you guys with the folks that are doing 10, 15, 20 deals a month, many of them started doing that after we made these adjustments in their coaching meetings. And I started looking at it going, man, I'm missing some of this. Um, so I haven't been actively pursuing production here for several years. I'm missing some of this. So 2.5 months ago, we started pursuing it here. And I think it's been right at about 2.5 months. And about 2 weeks ago, we started getting a relatively steady flow of initial appointments. So it's taken 2 months to the initial appointments many times. Um, and some of those initial appointments still aren't ready. I'm finagling my way into an appointment sometimes with someone that goes, yeah, I think we might sell, but we're just not ready yet. So these appointments are at about 2 months. Sometimes they're ready to go. It's like, come list the house, come give us your presentation, give us your price. Sometimes we're probably going to sell in a couple of months. And then I work into, could I swing by for 10 minutes? So those initial appointments, many times for me right now, 2 months in, are not always full blown. I'm presenting, I'm getting FaceTime and building rapport. It's part of the nurture campaign. Um, but 4 months is definitely, I've seen too many people that have started to see their listings and purchase contracts taken start to take off at that 4 month mark of staying consistent and being remembered through a farming type of campaign after that initial conversation.
Okay. And just a quick follow up on this. It, as a bare minimum conversion rate, meaning if you're not hitting this, you're in the wrong group. You cut the cord now because you're not going to succeed. What bare minimum conversion rate should someone expect, based on calls and
Bare
leads?
minimum 2%.
2%. Okay.
Yeah, bare minimum. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I've got plenty of people that don't do 2%. They are worse than 2%. Normally, if you're worse than 2%, you're going to be at zero. Okay, it's kind of one of those things that you're either at zero or two is a cakewalk. Okay,
And is the
so
zero, they're just not executing, following the
yeah,
process?
yeah.
They're
If
just
you're
not doing
following the
anything?
process, you're following it poorly, but you're following the process 2%. Yeah. Now, some math just for you guys, if for those that have seen my How to Close Two Probate Deals a Month video, you'll recognize some of this math, basically the basics of it. But for every 100 probate leads, 70 are going to have real estate. 35, not 35% of the 70, but half of the 70 that have real estate are probably going to end up selling. Okay. So in general, I am trying to get a hold of through the phone at least half of those that are gonna sell. So let's say 35 out of 100 are going to sell pretty relatively quickly, inside about a year, inside of a year. So that's 17, and I get half. Oh, 17 would be half of the people that I speak with. So each month out of 100 leads, I want to put 17 people in my pipeline. And if I can convert 20% of my pipeline, which I think we should all be able to do, 20% of my pipeline, that's three and a half, almost four deals a month. Okay. And that's 4%. That's 3.5%. That's 4%.
Got it. So you're saying the bare minimum should be at least 2% off gross leads.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the questions, Mike.